Hey, Weibo on the blue side again. Tom Kench, Hecarim, Rise, banned away. LGD sticking to the same ones. It looks like we're going to get Salty run back. Gwen, Zeri, and TF banned by LGD. Jinx picked up by a Weibo. Aphelios, Nautilus this time by LGD.
Yeah, so going to take that one away from Sword Art. Nautilus is quite an annoying champion, right? Point and click ultimate can be quite frustrating to deal with, as we see Weibo already pivoting, taking out the Xin Zhao this time around. We've hit on how for most teams this is the common second rotation, but Weibo have been one of the teams who've strayed a little bit away from the Xin Zhao still. Will serve as a great front line, being able to pop that ultimate. Now giving your Jinx some mobility with the Lantern coming out from Sword Art. And even just Thresh in general has always been one of the picks I've associated with Sword Art.
Yeah, and also just provides so much flexibility in terms of peeling and engage and things along those lines. But we are into the second phase. We did see the final pick for LGD in the first phase was the Ahri for Jay. So another power pick coming on through here for them. As we got into the bans, though, Vex banned by LGD. Camille, the same ban as game number 1 for Weibo.
And you can see for LGD with the fact that they did take Ahri, not too concerned about the top lane counter picks that we were talking about. LGD potentially being able to ban away, going to take away these mid laners. I do like the Ahri pick here, especially with the fact that Weibo have shown Thresh. So right now, all of your engage is dependent on skill shots, right? Unless SOM goes for like a flashy instead of trying to hit his W. Jay should be able to have a relatively good time in this game unless Weibo are able to get some more guaranteed lockdown in the rest of their setup. Azir also going to be taken off the table now. You'd expect LGD to be looking towards jungle here. The Lee Sin still left open if you want to go for an early mid-jungle 2v2. Charm set up the Sonic Wave from the Lee Sin. You have the burst there. The other thing that jumps to mind would be the Viego, but I definitely think the Lee Sin being more of the standout.
Yeah, and for Shadow specifically, I gotta see a better performance in game number 1 for this guy on the aggressive style junglers in particular for him. And see if they do want to go back to it. It looks like they do lock that in for Shadow. So Lee Sin for the second time in a row. Definitely wanting to find a little bit better of an in than the first game itself. But as we get into the second phase for Weibo, they still have a lot of picks on the board. The Gnar not banned away this time and locked in already.
And I remember we talked about on the last hit which teams would benefit the most from 12.4. And I pointed out Weibo is one of them just for the fact that the Shy always just been so high on the Gnar pick, even willing to bring it out in metas where it's not meta. Just being a reliable pick that he feels comfortable on in the laning phase. Now to see if Angel goes back to this, and he will. Once again, going to have the Zillion there to allow Huanfeng to do whatever he pleases. We saw SOFM take advantage of it quite a bit last time around. We talked about how much time he was willing to buy for other members to be able to follow up, either in these team fights or in side lane picks like we saw the skirmish and topside.
The skirmish... Man, this makes me so scared for side of LGD because of how Angel performed that last, because of how tilting it was to face this Zillion. Tilting on the other side though, LGD, they are gonna grab the Tryndamere, the boomer bust side laner against the Shy on the Gnar.
I feel like there's a big difference with this composition coming out from LGD is that at the very least, right, once we go into mid game, if they can keep their soul laners ahead, they will be able to win out in both side lanes. So potential 1-3-1 open, that then sets you up for picks because you're able to just walk in the enemy jungle while the enemy laners answering under their tier 2 turrets, get D-Vision, try and set up a charm to find kills. So I think for LGD, they're trying to not fight into the Zillion this time around like they did in game 1, avoid him at all costs, 1-3-1, find picks on side, invade enemy jungle, go for this style, try and avoid those outright 5v5s.
Yeah, it's all about staying away from the big team fights, staying away from the meat and potatoes that is Weibo Gaming's composition, because we all know what they want to do. They want to, buy time as they did in game number 1, get to the parts where they have the 4v5s, 4v4s, 5v5s, and make the team fights happen. Bring it all together. And on the other side, LGD, the bar of execution a little bit higher this time especially, but has a little bit more of an into the game itself instead of getting put behind super early and not having anything to say. Still though, the main eye is on the tempo in the jungle. How does Shadow recover from that first game where SOFM completely ruled every single camp it seen for the first 20 minutes as we do hit the rift for the second game of the night? Can LGD bring us the distance for the first series? Can we get 3 full games against Weibo Gaming? We'll find out, unless Weibo want to make it a quick night for us as we hit it for game 2.
And you know, Mazel, we were talking about this a little bit before the game. You know, we don't have official confirmation yet from the LPL, but I'm pretty sure if Weibo win this, they are locked into playoffs. 10th and below right now cannot hit 10 wins. So this would be a pretty nice win for Weibo, assuming that math does triumph. Looks like LGD are trying to triumph, though, with a bit of a cheeky level 1.
These are the kinds of things you got to have, though. You got to be able to throw anything and everything, even the kitchen sink sometimes, to be able to pick up wins. And an early advantage with this kind of composition, with the 1-3-1 that we set up for them, would be a big boon for themselves.
Yeah, you do see Weibo not falling for it so far. We do see SOFM up towards the top side, and the sad crying mummy emoji going to come out from Jinzhao as they back away. Go for their standard starts. And talking about starts, right, Shadow making his way up towards the top side. This game, I want to see a lot more pressure put up towards this top lane matchup coming out from the side of LGD. Shadow constantly hovering, Jay making his way up. Because again, I feel like the most pivotal thing for the side of LGD is getting their solo lanes ahead. We already see Jay coming out with a nice trade, proccing his electrocute, starting off strong. But we need to see pivoted that into a way that, I mean, their comp has a win condition. Yeah, because last time they just split out early, and we never got to see anything come to fruition.
And I feel like it's going to be very quick that we see a difference from game 1 to game 2, because it was that very steady, slow early game for both teams last time around. But if LGD want to change things up, get these solo lanes ahead, it'll require some different targeting, some different priority than that game number 1. Get into the Zillion's face, get Jay ahead, and then be able to transition that into the side lane specifically. But still, it is the full side clears coming out thus far. No unique pathing just yet. As we did see last game, SOFM did go for that extra aggressive vertical pathing. Ooh. Now Shadow wrapping back around towards bottom lane, does have the ward hop over the wall, will be spotted by the ward on the tri-bush, but it might be too late for Weibo. As Sword and Huanfang realize what's going on, they back away. The wave state just not in a good position, and Shadow sitting on a ward being baited by Weibo. This will still be Huanfang flashing out, though, so they at least get one summoner spell for their time.
Yeah, I assume they were going to try and bait it since SOFM was on his way down, and they knew then they'd be able to just turn onto the Lee Sin, pretty much have a 3v1, and then turn that into a 3v2. But, I mean, a little bit wrong timing in terms of estimation, right? Huanfang having to burn flash. Jinzhao did flash as well, so is a 1-for-1, but Huanfang's flash definitely being more valuable. Now you see Shadow a little bit down in terms of tempo when it comes to clearing his camps. You expect that as a Lee Sin anyway, up against Sinza, right? You would already fall behind, but now going to be behind a decent bit is SFM already finishing his Krug. He's about to do his red buff, will then reset, get back on the map first, be, you know, stronger for a small period of time, and he can set up to look for a play in one of these lanes. Not having great setup in terms of mid or top. Looks like Fearness pushing in now, so you might have a window there, but all of your setup being with discretion in the bottom lane.
One thing I do love, though, in these particular picks for both these junglers is it feeds into that aggressive playstyle both of these guys like to go for, but it still falls back on the utility once that level 6 is marked, right? The complete engage catch out that Shadow can provide. We saw him trying to go for some of those last game, and having that Dragon Rage kick is so pivotal when you have Jinzhao to follow it up with the engage. On SOFM side, that Crescent Guard could get so much value in terms of this team, especially against Jay, especially against Eric. But speaking of, Shadow is going to find out the Shy. He's not Mega Gnar yet, and he gets taken out.
He might have missed a Sonic Wave, but he got the kill. I like that he still was patient with it, right? Ward hops over, gets the E off, did commit flash, but this is what we want to see from LGD. We hit on, hey, it's a lot about your soul lanes this time around. We need to see more proactivity in the early game. And Shadow now finally delivering is Jay, taking a ton of damage from minions in that last trade.
That's definitely not what you want. Oh, the flash, the charm, the kill not there. One more auto attack, and he gets it. Jay gets the kill mid lane, solo bolo.
Ooh, and it was starting to look like a really bad trade for Jay. Does not hesitate, though. Goes for the flash charm. Able to turn it around. And again, I feel like LGD, since Jay have come in, have been a more exciting team, which is why that first game was so strange coming out from them. We're going to get a replay of that one, though. Q comes off, procs the bone plating. This is where it looks a little bit rough, right? Gets slowed down, double bomb comes out. Look at all those minions hitting Jay right now. It's the whole wave. Maybe one caster
down. But he knows he doesn't have anything.
He sees Angel walk forward. Yeah, still completely on cooldown. Goes in, lands the charm, and then with that last auto, able to confirm it.
I love the thumbs up too. Just the added beam on top of it. Like, I saw you in game number 1. Well, I got Ari now. And Jay finding the difference early on for LGD, who are now up 2-0 and have not fallen behind tempo in this game as they did in game number 1. It will be SOFM picking up first dragon for Weibo, though. It will be a Hextech dragon to start us off.
And for LGD, we see them pivot back towards the top side as SOFM is taking dragon. I think this is kind of the right move, and we're going to see the game quickly turn into a dichotomy of who can carry harder. Will it be Huanfeng being enabled by SOFM and Sword Art, or will it be those soul laners we talked about for LGD?
If Fearless didn't flash there, he was going to die. The Shy hit level 6 first, and there was no level 6 for Fearless there. Shadow, though, wants to avenge his top laner a little bit. The Shy too keen. He wasn't born yesterday. Jin Zhao getting hooked up, though, in the bot lane, though. He wants to re-engage as Eric has popped the grab of Jin Zhao. You got to get out of there. The bush is beautiful cover, but not enough Sword Art flashes for it to get the kill.
And I mean, LGD's bot lane looking for the aggressive plays. You know Shadow's angling up for a dive on top side. You don't know where SOFM is.
Eric.
And now, Eric, SOFM's in your face. At the very least, might be able to deny him some CS with the threat of a potential dive here. So, Weibo, nice job finding something so massive in the bot lane. It looked like they were able to deny a little bit of XP, also able to pick up a plate of their own, transitioning this into a blue buff. They have some vision down as well, so, you know, they have an idea, hey, Shadow's still hanging out around the top side where the Shy is, so overall, really nice play coming out from the side of Weibo. Even Angel in the mid lane did get solo killed, still hasn't really fallen behind in terms of CS.
Still just that early tempo advantage trying to be gotten by SOFM. This time around, though, answered by Shadow. This is the difference that we also wanted to see from the jungler of LGD is find a place in the game. Be able to take it to SOFM if he's bullying you in your jungle. And there we'll see a little bit of time wasted by SOFM as he goes to his empty Wolves Den. But that means the reset coming out from Shadow. Back onto the map are both of these junglers. We do see some roam timer coming out here for Jin Zhao, but no real lane state to speak of and no big ability to take down Angel in the mid lane. Now the Chrono Shift is there.
Yeah, Angel always playing decently close
He's
to
still
his turret.
going
Jin
for
Zhao
it.
flash.
He does have the Chrono Shift available. Pops it. Doesn't go down, though. Nicely targeted by LGD. But now Jin Zhao is the target. Angel gets out alive with the speed.
Close.
And the Crescent Guard pushes Jay back. This is the Wholesome Brother Gaming.
Yeah, and I was just about to hit on the fact that committing to Angel is very hard without being willing to flash just right to him, right? For the fact that he's playing so close to home. They go for it, but both bot lanes reset at the same time, which means Sword Art is on the same timer in the same window as you are, able to follow up and answer accordingly. SOFM's around as well. And then Huanfeng being allowed to just bully Eric in this bottom side. I can understand the thought process coming out from LGD, but I think for LGD on their windows, they should typically look top first and then maybe pivot to mid.
Ooh.
Or even just have Shadow lean in around this mid lane, but not overcommit to a kill onto the Zillion.
They actually just got the cleanse out of Eric with a death sentence under tower. Jin Zhao there. So some fear definitely in the hearts of LGD at this point. We'll get a replay, though, of that Angel.
Yeah, and I mean, everything hits right, but by the time the CC chain comes off, he's still able to get that ulti down. Like I said, Sword Art being on the same recall timing.
Oh, the speed
SOFM not too far away. It was super close by Jay, but still not able to land at the end. And even if he did get the kill, right, it would still be a 2-for-1 in favor of Weibo.
Sword Art just consistently landing hooks under tower. Honestly, very, very impressed that Sword Art has just been able to kind of come in and have the type of performance that feels like Weibo haven't missed a beat in their support on, having been so crucial to a lot of the link-ups and things along those lines as we got into the mid-game. But Sword Art having those roams, having some good timers, and especially making sure that the bot lane is in a winning position for Weibo.
Sword Art coming in and having a good performance so far, right? This is his first series in LPL 2022, has only played in the Demacia Championship. So great to see him back and see for the side of Weibo, it is still working. Game 1 didn't give us a lot of opportunity to see any highlights or mistakes come out from him with the way that Weibo, and more specifically the way that LGD were playing it, but this time around, definitely opening up for more, again, either good or bad impressions to come out from Sword Art as LGD are able to guarantee themselves a Rift Herald. Weibo not even going to look to contest, just going to keep their following down this bottom side.
Okay, Eric with the nice little diagonal flash there will not be in Sword Art's target. So not going to be getting the ADC this time around, but Flash was burned onto Eric. And now with Dragon coming up, I wonder if SOFM wants to put more priority into the second Drake of the game, as we do see a lot of Weibo members down towards this bottom side.
Oh, I think you absolutely do, right? I mean, the Shy is TP, no TP on Fearness. You already have Prio and bot. SOFM already hovering around mid. There should be a very easy second Dragon for the side of Weibo. I don't expect LGD to look to contest if they do opt into it. You should probably just back off, look to move topside, and try and get more gold onto Fearness. But surprisingly, Weibo aren't even going to opt into it. They're going to send SOFM top instead.
Changing up the priorities this time around. They did have that heavy priority on Dragon last game, but it was because of a lot of the state of the game and the tempo that they had. On Fong just duping Jin Zhao a little bit there, had the Dark Passage available. Now Shadow looking at the mid lane with the Rift Herald, and that's where I want to turn my eyes on next, right? We do have a Rift Herald about a quarter of the way down for Shadow, but it's the lane states that are so rough. There's no real position for you to get it freely. You're going to have to kind of drop and leave.
Yeah, and we're going to see now.
Oh, no.
Okay, so Shadow and
Oh,
Shadow,
no.
you better get out of there, buddy.
He flashes. All right. Well, he makes it out of there. But there's a little bit of that two-sword style we were talking about.
Mazel, okay, so they're finally doing the Dragon. Because before we saw the invade come out, I was going to point out, like, you have no cleanse on Eric. You have no flash on Eric. You have no flash on Jin Zhao. You have no TP on the Tryndamere. I was really surprised that Weibo were so hesitant in terms of starting this Dragon. Because even if it was just an outright 4v4 and you ignore the Shy being able to come, I feel like there's so much more risk on LGD. Angel
is such a Chad. And now Fearness in some trouble. A full health, the Shy coming out of Meganar. The unrelenting rage, undying rage rather, was popped, but Shadow there just in case Fearness needs to get away. Some healing coming through, but the Shy is still big. Mega Death Rocket going a bit wide. Huanfeng zealous on that one.
Yeah, and it makes you even wonder how Fearness got himself in that position where he's literally on no HP while the Shy is full. Look at the minimap. You see Sword Art moving up towards topside now. Weibo maybe looking for a play.
Jay just TP'd, is half health now coming up here. Shadow makes the first move into Jin Zhao here, has to get away. Crescent Guard was utilized by SOFM, meaning the Death Charge actually goes full onto him. See if they can catch him down. That's some serious mobility there. And SOFM is down already. Now the Shy on the side has not the Meganar ulti, but the play there for Sword Art. It's Shadow following it through. Jin Zhao trying to get away. Shadow so low on the health bar, but the Shy is taking a 1v2 at the top side of the fight, and he's going to find Jin Zhao.
I mean, the Shy finds the kill, but I feel like Weibo were so disconnected in that fight. The Everfrost from Angel completely whiffing. I feel like he threw it out extremely early on. Throws out one bomb too soon. You see forces a flash, but then Sword Art all-ins. He could have gone down the Shy playing the opposite side of the fight.
He's looking for it. Oh, he mistargeted it. It was so close. He was moving up there. They were trying to get Sword Art up there with some vision, but they didn't find out Shadow.
Yeah, not going to be able to find it, but still. I mean, the fact is, even though I just heavily criticized Weibo for that last skirmish, they were the ones who were able to come out ahead. We see in terms of top lane matchup, the Shy still completely dominant in terms of being able to get some turret plates on his end. Fearness still not getting anywhere close to the Shy's turret on the opposite side. Is Shadow, he's been sitting on this one for a while, just forced to drop it, as none of his lanes have push.
Yeah, and it's been
so if you don't have push, like, what do you do, right? Because typically you'd want to rotate one of your sides over to mid.
Oh my goodness.
I did take a pause just in case he died, but typically, right, you want to rotate over from mid to look for this. We see them going for it now. It does open up Eric to get bullied in the bottom lane, but hey, at least they'll be able to guarantee the charge goes off.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me, is if you're going to drop it like that, you got to make sure to bring it into the tower. Don't just let it go. They don't get any turret plates or anything, but at least a little bit of chip damage onto that bottom tower. Now they're moving down towards this bottom side, try to save Eric from the situation that he's in. That top side getting so much worrisome, though. We're not getting that side lane pressure for Fearness. And for me as well, the mid lane itself. Jay is down 30 CS against Angel.
Yeah.
And we wanted to see a difference in the mid lane. We wanted to see them try and take down Angel on the Zillion. It has not worked out for the second game in a row.
No, especially when you think about the fact that they put resources into it, right? They put resources into it, sending Jin Zhao mid, sending Shadow mid even once, and then almost every time they either had to back out on the losing end, one ball.
TP back though, depth charge utilized. Now Jin Zhao realizes they need to kind of back away. Here comes the power of the Shy. They take another tower, at least there's the second tower of the game for Weibo, and it's right back to game one. They're just slowly, steadily building this lead up.
Yeah, still a bit of a slow bleed coming out from LGD on the opposite side, but going back to the J point, right? Things were going pretty decently. He was even in CS, found the solo kill, but once those botch plays started coming out, is Mazel, this time we apparently do get non-stop action, as I'm lying. We don't get non-stop action. We get action that did stop. There was action, though.
There was action.
Still one of the
also
words.
Talking about action, there's some action in Angel's inventory now as he has bought the BM book. No stacks on the book yet, but hey, you know, positivity is key. Speaking of positive, Weibo are going to be positively murdering Jay as he goes down to Huanfeng.
Yeah, and we see the lane allocation coming out from Weibo, right? Already moving their bot lane towards mid. Jay trying to take a greedy path back towards that mid lane, despite the fact that Weibo have some nice vision around. I guess for LGD, they felt fine because you look where the rest of their vision is oh.
How does that connect?
Another nice hook coming out from Sword Art.
How did that? I'm not big brain, I'm not analytical, but my goodness, I'd be seething if I were Jay in that situation.
Yeah, Sword Art now sitting with 4 of the 5 kill participation right now. And Sword Art has honestly been a player that I feel like the community generally has a more negative impression of, which I find super weird, right? Looking at his career. Yeah. You know, obviously not some like standout superstar murking kids left and right, but I feel like fills the role of a veteran player who is incredibly successful in terms of the accolades that he has. And we've seen, again, what he was able to do with Huanfeng when Huanfeng came in on this roster. The fact that even when you consider him and Maple, him definitely being the much more successful of the two in terms of LPL. Neither matching Karsa, but hey, it is what it is.
And for me, it's the decision-making, it's the shot calling that seems to come when Sword Art is on a team, right? It's that veteran decision-making in moments where the experience becomes so key. Obviously, waiting to see that kind of play out a little bit further on in the season for Weibo. That is why they brought Sword Art back in as well. As we see, the Rift Herald charge in mid gets the 3rd outer tower for Weibo, so no structures on the outer sides for LGD now. They continue to build this one up. Here comes the engage from Shadow. He immediately said, nah, I don't want that one. I'm backing out. And using a lot of cooldowns there as well. No engage from Jin Zhao besides the depth charge, which now gets utilized on Angel. And they're moving forward on SOFM. He has Crescent Guard available. He can buy so much time. He has the Chrono Shift on him as well. And he's on to Jay. Now you have Sword Art, Huanfeng, and Angel on the other side. It is still a trade back, though. SOFM goes down. Now it's a little bit of trouble. Fearness is getting them all down. Huanfeng goes down. The Shy is taking the top or the bottom side tower tier 2. But does it matter when you lose your whole team mid?
It's kind of funny how the dynamic shift, right? In terms of, we were talking about how LGD would be the team wanting to play around their side lanes. Weibo would want to be the team grouping up, but LGD start falling so far behind, they're like, hey, we need to make a play somewhere. We're just going to drop all of our sideways to look to force this play mid. Luckily for them, it works out. They get bounty gold, they pick up a dragon, and they bring the golden closer. I think we were sitting at 5K before for the side of Weibo, now bringing it up to 2K. LGD now doing their best to close the gap.
The fight plus the double bounties from the dragon and the tower on the outer side and mid was huge. This is showing off a little bit of that mobility, the extended play that LGD can have with this composition, especially the Ahri.
Yeah, we see him do a lot, but I feel like here, it's so strange that they turn this around because it starts off so bad. Jay going down, Jin Zhao pulling himself in, but Fearness really able to turn this one around, and Eric on the back end was getting damage down the whole time onto the members of Weibo. LGD, they make a bit of a Hail Mary. It looks like it's going to flop, but in the end, it flourishes.
It flourishes, as Jin would say, maybe a little bit deadly so, as it does help Fearness, right? That's something I wanted to keep checking in on in this game, was how this side lane is going to go, right? We already said that LGD have opted into this kind of Nayram style right now, and it's working out for them. They get SOFM's Crescent Guard. They also get his life. No, they don't. The Chrono Shift is there. Fearness on the backside here now. The Shy having Mega Nar. He's moving forward. The rest of the team a little bit worse for wear, though. He's all alone in the middle of everybody. He just dies. That is miscommunication to a T for Weibo.
Yeah, that was so... Oh, that was close. But that was so strange coming out. You could see the Shy really seeing it. SOFM backing off, wanting to heal up, clear his jungle camps. It looked like the other three members of Weibo were conflicted with what they could go for. And the Shy so far committed throws up the ult, but we're going to see now, can LGD turn this and maybe find more kills?
SOFM does not have smite. They only have bodies to get into the pit. Will this go over? Jin Zhao on the side. It will already be burned down by LGD. Do Weibo want to go for the continuation fight? They are too quick, too fluid, and slippery like a fish.
And only like 3 minutes ago, we were at a 5K gold lead for Weibo. And now here we are, game completely even. LGD picking up the Baron. Some botched fights coming out from the side of Weibo. They're going to be able to pick some gold up off of this, get waves pushed in, but still, LGD going to be able to put so much pressure down with the side laning coming out from the Tryndamere. Jin Zhao here finding the flash hook onto SOFM. They get him so extremely low, but Zillion able to save just in time, and then this way things get a little bit weird. You can see Fearness zoning off the other members, but the Shy still wanting to go in. You can see Hwanfeng and Sorted, though, they don't feel comfortable walking up past the Tryndamere, and it leaves the Shy in that awkward place. So even then, just the zoning coming out from the Tryndamere really opening that one up, and my God.
It was close, man. It was so close.
Maybe that could have dissuaded LGD from going for the Baron, but at the end of the day, they didn't find it. LGD do have Baron, and again, now it comes to what Tryndamere does best, pushing in side lanes. You see the Lee Sin hovering around him. Eric and Jin Zhao just have to hold the line.
They do, and it's going to be a tall task, right? The Shy is very scary in the side lane, especially with the Hull Breaker. Fearness himself now working on that second item will be a bit terrifying, but it's still, you know, the passive leads that are there for Weibo, for the Shy, for Angel. And again, we set it up at the beginning of this. LGD do not want to take late game team fights 5v5 straight up in front of objectives against this team. They have the composition to beautifully execute that. It's about the picks, it's about the side lanes, it's about the power, it's about the drive, Lyric.
Yeah, they potentially could go for team fights if it's in an area where they have vision, right, and they can set up the flank coming out from Fearness to just get right onto Hwanfeng, but still, obviously the side lane option just sets them up much better in terms of how their composition has been drafted. The thing, though, is Weibo can very easily try and force them into that next dragon fight, be on soul point, and then as LGD, you really can't avoid the fight anymore, so... Yeah. LGD probably have to look for the fight. Right now, just trying to get as much gold and items as they can before that fight is, once again, seeing Horizon focus built on Ahri. This is something we've been seeing more of in the past few days, which I find really interesting, right? You have numerous ways of proccing at both your Q and E, of course, to get the damage on that one. I would still think Shadowflame would maybe be more consistent damage spread across a fight. Not 100% positive on the math at that one. Feel like in terms of like the short burst and in the slow being able to come out from that, would set you up better for picks. So maybe that signals the way that Jay's going to be looking at angles in these fights right again. Hiding in brushes, looking to find picks in jungle, and finding your advantages that way.
Yeah, and I will point out, you know, we are getting to those second item completions across the board, and especially for LGD, where I think it's more important to highlight that, because Weibo have had some of those passive leads, have gotten the extra gold for Angel to go up EM book with no stats in it, at least unless that's a visual bug to some extent, but I'm pretty sure it's correct. And now, using this little 2-item spike that they've gotten for themselves, LGD go for the dragon, putting them up 2-2 in terms of dragon stack.
Yeah, and we saw the Shy's Mega was just timing out. Even the position that Fearness was taking in terms of zoning out the enemy doesn't really matter that they have wards there, right? Not feeling comfortable walking into River with Tryndamere just sitting right there. And the sad thing for Weibo in that play is they didn't find anything on the opposite side of the map. They didn't move up top, get that wave cleared out. They didn't go and take Krugs, get maybe deeper vision down for next time Baron spawns or next time people are on the tops of the map. Just ultimately a free objective for the side of LGD.
LGD continuing up the pressure, using this side lane, but keeping a bunch of people in the mid lane. A little bit of a 4-1, I guess, split between the sides now, as they are trying to crash into the tier 2 on the bottom side. I feel like that's the more important goal here for LGD, to try and get Fearness unlocked. They're going to find the Shy, but he is a tanky Gnar. They've already gotten Fearness's Undying Rage. Jay flashes and uses the Fox Charm as well, but can't hit it onto the Shy. Mega Death Rocket comes back. Look at the Shy. He's buying so much time. He still has Mega Gnar. And into the wall, into the fight. Here comes Weibo Gaming. Hwanfeng using the Gale Force forward. takes down Eric. The Moonlight Vigil was huge. The Chrono Shift even bigger now as Jin Zhao has to flash away. Shadow taking the fight to SOFM on the side, but he's all alone now. Death Sentence connects. Can Hwanfeng get excited? That is the key to this fight. Shadow's down. Fearness is going to go down, and Hwanfeng coming out on top again and again and again. Weibo Gaming.
Beautiful flash to come out from Hwanfeng in the end to get space away from Fearness. Find the resets, gets excited, pops off. Also, salute to the Shy. Bot time finds the ultimate, which sends Eric into the side of Weibo. And we're going to go straight into the replay here. You can see what LGD are going for. They'd push in mid, they'd push in bot, setting up for this dive onto the Shy, who's in mini node. This is when he's supposed to be vulnerable, but kites it out beautifully. Even Jay flashing in to try and buy some distance. The charm sadly doesn't connect. And here's where it looks like he might go down, but they aren't able to burst him out. And right here, hits the ultimate Eric flash, but still Eric is right in front of the carries of Weibo. Hwanfeng gonna be able to take him down. Jin Zhao tries to find him, but with Angel's ultimate, they aren't able just to commit onto the Jinx. Shadow trying to take down SOFM on the side, isn't able to land the Sonic Wave, and just a bunch of missed abilities all around, but I feel like the most crucial point is here. Hwanfeng holding onto his flash until Fearness goes in, gets excited once again, and is able to follow up on Jay's retreat.
What a play, and just like last game, Weibo have just seemingly exploded this game. Obviously not a huge lead in terms of gold, but it just feels like the momentum is in Weibo's pocket here. And it was that miscommunication, it seemed, in the middle of that fight for LGD, with a little bit of the ins and outs of the entire team, that if it gets shored up, if you have direct target calling, that LGD fight goes way different. And Hwanfeng probably doesn't get the same pop-off to the extent, but it's all about target acquisition. It's all about decision-making in those fights, and Weibo are just on one right now.
Yeah, Weibo.
Okay, I cast a curse SOFM. He's just dead somehow. Shadow also finds Hwanfeng here, but won't go for the kick.
Look at the Shy.
Sword Out's just got, yeah, the Shy is playing an RPG at this point. Hwanfeng gets the Chrono Shift onto him, but dies to the rest of LGD. The inhib will not fall. Angel's still alive. What has happened to Weibo Gaming?
I don't know how SOFM just got exploded out of
Still
nowhere.
are dealing
The
with
Shy.
them.
The Shy gonna be able to. Okay, we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Angel was gonna go and try and stop the recall, but wasn't able to get there in time. So Jay will answer. Still should be a Baron for the side of LGD.
I don't like.
No, there's numerous members coming.
I know,
the Shy
yeah,
is dead.
But at least he's able to get the tower. Maybe let's see if he gets it. One more auto. He gets what he came for, Lyric, and that's all that really matters. He will die eventually to Fearness. It is Baron secured by LGD once again, but they are losing their base.
We're going to see if Weibo can make this matter, because I feel like at least right now it shouldn't mean too much, right? LGD going to have Baron for the next few minutes, so they'll be able to get their side lanes sorted out, especially the spot side where the inhibitor was taken. But the one thing it does open up, right, is one fight win for Weibo. You don't have the base open through bot. You could just look to push an end as SOFM.
Oh my god.
I guess you're making that play expecting the Lantern to come out, you know, a bit sooner and be able to get away, but with Shadow coming around the side, it looks like Weibo pretty doomed no matter what happened. Jay also able to find a way over the wall, despite the fact that the Shy does have a control ward there. So wouldn't even really be able to collapse down in your bottom side. Nice engage coming out from the side of LGD. They have Baron that could go for these pushes. Infernal Drake also about to come up, which would put them on Soul Point, just outright stacking Infernals. They're going to start hitting like trucks. Heck, they already hit like trucks.
Yeah, they do.
We saw what happened. We saw what happened to SOFM just a second ago. What am I saying, Mazel? What am I
got
saying?
Obliterated. It was red-white from Eric, though, helping out with a lot of the damage from the chakrams. Still, though, it is LGD who take pole position. They take almost a 3,000 gold lead with that Baron play, and they also got a bunch of structures to catch themselves up. Yes, the bot lane is looking a bit hard as the inhib is already down, but the fact that you're unleashing a little bit of this pressure and giving Fearness more options into the later game.
Yeah, you know, Fearness is kind of like Peacemaker. Have you seen Peacemaker?
I haven't, but I've heard great things.
Peacemaker's, I'm not going to spoil Peacemaker, but you know, Peacemaker has a quote that even says in the last Suicide Squad movie that, you know, he's willing to kill any man, woman, or child to guarantee peace. And that's Fearness in this game. He just wants to peacefully make it to that game 3. He's doing the world a service by trying to murk the members of Weibo. As I don't think Jay's going to go for this.
Stayed. All right.
Jay's not going to go for this.
He's not going to go for this. He's not going to. LGD are keeping up the pressure, though, as we were saying, using this 1-3-1 setup for themselves. But Weibo realized what kind of position they're in and want to capitalize on it. They haven't been able to do so just yet. The Shy still on the top side with Unleashed TP. But the wave management from LGD is looking mighty fine.
Yeah, overall, it's looking solid. Looks like for the side of Weibo, it's kind of transition right now. They're at the point where they're looking to commit the Shy to still pushing. Doesn't have the Hull Breaker, so we've seen him be able to do a tremendous amount. And, I mean, for Weibo, right, in terms of the outright 5v5s, we've still, I feel like, seen them come out ahead more often than not. It's been when LG can find these picks.
Oh, look at the damage on SOFM. Eric is just obliterating people. How has this become the state of the game? LGD are finding picks left and right. Jin Zhao will not die to the Mega Death Rocket. Wanfeng trying his darndest, but now it's an unmatched fight. It's 3v5, and LGD are pouncing.
Yeah, and I feel like we're seeing the 3 Infernals come out in spades. Eric and Wanfeng have the same amount of items, but Eric is just absolutely deleting people.
Wanfeng's here now, though, and he will delete people as well. Both ADCs on 4.5 items or so. See LGD getting the inhib and getting out, respectfully done by the team.
Yeah, now they're going to also take away everything in Weibo's side of the jungle, so denying even more gold from their side on top of the push that just happened, you taking the inhibitor. So now 1 inhibitor apiece. Fearness going to be able to go answer that bot wave and make a pretty penny. SOFM walking into the enemy jungle.
This Jin Zhao is, you know, he's got 2,000 something health. You know, the health bar doesn't matter at this point, Barry. You see each one of those auto attacks from Eric is doing like a quarter of his health.
And trying to force your way in River, you don't have mid push. None of the members of LGD were showing in top or bot wave as well. I believe Jay had just shown on top wave, but that still leaves 4 members. Unaccounted for, SOFM goes in, and SOFM and Sword Art get punished. Maybe even just, you know, Sword Art playing back, playing for the Lantern. If you're going to try and get shallow vision, then wait for your team to be able to regroup mid and push out that wave before you walk into your jungle. Could have been the play for the side of Weibo. It seems like now they just feel no confidence at all fighting the members of LGD. Heck, now LGD have the gold lead. We've already hit on the Dragons numerous times. Feels like the members of LGD, even if you just go frontline to frontline, you could put so much pressure on Wanfeng being able to zone him out with Fearness just being in the area, having the ability to Gale Force. And then Eric right now is just shredding the front line of Weibo so much faster than it feels like Wanfeng is able to answer on the opposing side.
And I'm just so happy that we get a state of game like this. Off of that first game, it was looking dire for LGD, but they have come back with that aggression we know and love, the early pathing for Shadow, to get themselves into a position where they feel confident taking some of these fights, right? Like, they have a gold lead at this point. They have been able to take consecutive fights where they pull away at least something from Weibo. But it can all end in just a moment as SOFM hunting right now. Tries to get Jay. The Everfrost misses. Jay has to dash away, but SOFM again just getting obliterated there. Has to get the Chrono Shift onto him, but doesn't get procced. Now Eric moving forward with Jay and the rest of LGD as they all come to mid lane yet again.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of controlling, right? Even like the side waves, they have those slow pushing into the side of Weibo. Baron about to come up, can have vision down for that. Dragon as well would be Soul. As Jade just going to TP in. Looking at summoners, pretty much flashes up across the board, so you have those tools to reposition.
I will say, obviously, the Shy being with the team, losing that whole breaker buff. Fearness himself on that 4 or 5 items now will be terrifying damage on the backline that cannot be killed. That's definitely something Wanfeng has to watch out for, but it's always about the setups. We saw the Shy able to buy so much time with the Mega Gnar, the tankiness that he provides in the setup that can follow as well. Mega Death Rocket used to just see the Baron, but look at the Baron, it's already gone! What? Those shock groups doing so much. As Dark Passage gets the Shy out, Mega Gnar will be popping. Yet another Baron goes to LGD.
And look at LGD right now. They say, hey, we don't really care too much about the Dragon. We'll keep 2 members here to put some pressure on you. But the other members going towards top to push into the base, they might just be able to guarantee themselves another inhibitor. Recalls are finally coming out for Weibo. They do guarantee themselves a Dragon. if you could hold off this next Baron push and bring it down to a 50-50 smite over Soul, that might be the best Weibo can ask for right now.
We are on full items now for both AD carries, and it's looking a little bit dire for the Shy, who is putting Fearness down to work, and Fearness just dies without the ulti. We're getting Perk Syndrome up in here. Jin Zhao now in some trouble, and just like that, the aggression again bites LGD in the butt.
I'm with Fearness, so where did that damage come from? Honestly, that's going to be one I'm really excited to see the replay on, because, I mean, LGD have just solidly had control of this game for the past 8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes even would be a better way of putting it, which is crazy considering Weibo at 18 minutes had a 4K gold lead, flipped the script. Script has flipped as this game is already messing with my mind, Mazel. Weibo might just go for an inhibitor of their own here.
This is just burger flip heaven right now. We're going back and forth. Got to make sure both sides are charbroiled. As the inhib does fall in the mid lane, so too will the inhib in bot lane if Weibo can change their focus over here. The Baron buff still helping out on this siege defense, but it doesn't matter for very long. Second inhib falls. It means 2 waves of super minions coming in, at least in the mid and bottom lane, which also means Weibo have an easy priority in the top lane now to finish out the base.
Still, right, it feels like this game is going to come down to a team fight in 30 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm not saying that neither of these teams will make a mistake. We've seen SOFM caught out numerous times. We're obviously going to see how Fearness just gets deleted here.
He was laughing so hard in the player cam, by the way. I don't know what happened. Yeah. Oh,
the third hit.
Yeah. Just not
the W
expecting
passive
it.
coming out, and yeah, that. I mean, heck, that was a tremendous amount of damage coming out from the Shy. Not feeling like he needs to put that one down. Then Jin Zhao being there, maybe expecting that they could turn this into a fight. He does just outright go down.
Oh man. Okay, Shadow tried to find the flank. They immediately popped the speed to get onto him, and now he's all alone. Does have the flash, makes it out alive that time. Hotbox still going though. He had the speed up, he had the Gale Force, and he is still chasing Shadow. He is still going. The GA pump for Shadow.
Oh, but look at LGD.
Yeah, they are taking the base right now. Shadow is just a distraction, and Shadow finally dies. The inhib in mid lane will go down, and LGD finds something.
Yeah, I mean, LGD at least will have those supers counteracting the enemy supers pushing in one lane.
This is Weibo. They can, like, this is exactly what they want. They wanted to put focus at the top side, try to take the rest of these towers down, and it works out as they already have 3 bodies up here. But can LGD capitalize on that? Jay taking the red buff. They are going to concede this second tier tower. Gotta expect the line is drawn in the sand at this last inhib tower. You have to.
My God, Eric's damage is going to keep surprising me. I mean, just the Infernum just clipped him on the end, and it did like 20% of Wanfong's HP. Of course, Wanfong can life-steal it up so easily at this point. They're gonna keep going with the push.
There are a couple rockets land. Wanfong, oh my goodness, both these ADCs. It's just so on a knife's edge because both of them can blow you up in a millisecond. But now Weibo moving in. Oh no, the Shy has found Fearness. Fearness backs away. He has Undying Rage though. Hopefully he'll be able to pop it this time around. But it is LGD making a good base defense. Weibo not wanting to relent though, as they feel they have the power to push.
Yeah, they're going to keep this one going. Now having Shadow back up. The Shy trying to keep pressure in the mid lane, but LGD are just going to engage.
Could the Shy just end the game? He's going to go for the fight though. Eric has already found 1 and make it 2. LGD finding the unmatched fight, and Weibo getting taken advantage of to an extent. Also catching out Sword Art here.
Now for LGD, I mean, there's a ton of minions in their base, right? You have 40 and 50-second death timers. I would assume you just try to push for the end, but I wonder if they're going to try and play this one more calculated. Have to be conscious and like the Shy still alive.
Have the Undying Rage, though, buying a lot of time. The exhaust is there. The Shy wants to chase him down. The Undying Rage ain't going to save you today, and the Shy gets the kill.
And now we see the other members of LGD trying to just funnel through the mid lane. It seems like they want to look for the end, but Jay being left alone to defend the base. You know, I don't know why part of my mind tells me that the Shy Ninja would TP and try to out-base race them, but thank God they're not. They're going to stay here as Shadow finds a kick.
This could just be it. Eric is looking for it, and they have found the Shy. They're TPing in. We could be going to Game 3. We are going to Game 3. Just like that, at a snap of the fingers, LGD make this a series.
18 minutes. Weibo had a 4,000 gold lead. I mean, we saw numerous times them getting caught off guard when LGD would just be like,